Love Beyond Dreams. Written by Bethany Clare. Narrated by Lily Collingwood. Chapter 1. Cagair Castle, present day. Eyes are the most important part of any portrait. People may not notice if you goof up a chin or if the shape of their nose isn't just so, but they will always notice if you get the eyes wrong. My very first art teacher told me that, the eccentric old woman with a slight hoarding problem that my parents hired to teach me when I was no more than 8. I never liked the idea of so much pressure being placed on a piece of art, so I took to painting landscapes, abstracts, anything that didn't require me replicating the image of another person with paint and a brush. Besides, I don't have any real talent for portraits, or so I thought. But looking at the painting of this stranger in front of me made me think differently. Of course, I wasn't sure talent had anything to do with the way this painting turned out. The image of my stranger was so burned into my mind that I believe I could paint him just as well even if I'd never held a brush in my life. This man, with his dark hair and eyes so blue they looked like they were made of stained glass, was the most beautiful thing I'd ever created. I wanted nothing more than for him to crawl right out of the canvas and into my bedroom. Maybe now that I'd placed him onto something that would last for longer than the duration of my dreams, he would stop haunting me in my sleep. All that remained was for me to add my signature to the bottom. Then the painting would be complete, and maybe, just maybe, I could have a night's sleep without him invading every corner of my mind. "You will run out of socks if he keeps that up." It took the sound of Aiden's voice behind me to draw my attention to the needle-like teeth that nipped at my big toe as Toby pulled at my sock in an effort to yank me off my stool. I set the brush down after my final stroke and leaned down to scoop the young pup into my arms before turning to face him. Aiden stood, tall and gangly in the doorway, his friendly, dimpled smile a welcome sight after my hours spent alone in the tower. Usually he was covered in sawdust, but he cleaned up nicely, albeit casually, with his longish blonde hair pulled into a small ponytail at the nape of his neck, and bare toes sticking out underneath the bottom of his jeans. He had spent his entire life in Scotland, but at first sight I would have sworn he was a native Californian. I already have. I'm pretty sure every other pair already has a hole. I should really start wearing shoes. I just hate them so much. Aiden laughed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?